guys, and welcome back to Let's Play. No, welcome back to this current household LP. I get so confused because I used to do so many LPs. Okay, anyways, so welcome back to the current household for The Sims of 4. We've got so much to talk about, and oh my god, I'm so excited to tell you. I am going to try and play today while I talk, so if it's a little bit crazy, please forgive me. I'm going to try my best. So the reason I've got it paused right now and the reason we're looking at the outside of the house is because this is the updated version of Daniel and Hannah's house. The reason that they have the updated version is because obviously the children are aging up and they need their own rooms, and so we've added a second floor, and I recently added on the room for the little boy. So I think in the last one, was he a child in the last one? I think he might have been a baby. So he's aged up. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have so much to fill you in on. Okay. So in the last one, no, I'm just kidding. In what's happened recently since the last one is that Daniel and Hannah have kind of went a little rogue here with my rules for the family, which is fine. In the last one, it was just Daniel, Hannah, Hazel, and then baby Darian. Well, Darian's aged up. He's got Cheryl's hair color. Well, sorry about that, buddy. In his private moments, we're zooming in on him. But he's got his grandmother's hair, which I thought was so freaking cute. So he took after Grandma Cheryl, or Nana Cheryl is what normally I call her for like when I'm thinking about her in my mind comes up as Nana Cheryl, and I don't know why. I just think she wouldn't want to be called Grandma because she's still quite young. So he is quite he's got quite the swag going down. She's crying in the shower. God only knows why. So when he aged up, he got the art lover trait. And as you know, I'm randomizing, so he got the art lover trait and the social butterfly aspiration. Haven't really worked much on the aspiration because I freaking hate that one, but otherwise, it's all good. So they're still living in the same house, and you're going to notice that there is a new baby in the family, and his name is Dominic. And little Dominic is here, and he is just so sweet. So what happened with that was I had told you guys that pretty much I only wanted the families or the children to have children until their first boy. And the reason I do that is so that I make sure that, you know, the family name carries on. And so, you know, that was fine, and I'm a person who likes to do all the whims that they want. And so I have the risky woohoo mod in here, which means that when you just woohoo, you have like a 15% chance or something like that of getting pregnant, which a 15% chance is quite slim. So it was like, you know, he got a wish for it, and I was like, you know what, I'll lock it in. If I don't decide to do it, that's fine. If I decide to do it, that's fine too. So the kids got invited to a birthday party for, let's see if I can figure out his name. Orion Huntington got invited to his birthday party to become a teenager, and so we all went, all 4 of us, because the baby wasn't here yet. And so we all went as a family to spend some time together on the weekend, and they got there and the party was going down. Everything was going pretty well. And then I turn around and I find Daniel and Hannah are woohooing upstairs in the parents' bedroom of the party, let me remind you. So they're up there woohooing it up. And I'm like, oh my god, like, what are you guys doing? Like, seriously, this is not the time to be woohooing. It's just not appropriate. And so it ends up that not only did they woohoo together, but she got pregnant, and so little Dominic became part of the equation. And to be honest, I wasn't all that angry at the very beginning because, okay, so, you know, they're going to have another baby. We can live with another child. Like, that's no big deal. Then I started to think, this is the tiniest lot in the entire earth. I had picked this because I had hoped that they were only going to have a few children, and then if they were going to have more at the very beginning, I was going to have them move to a bigger house and buy it for themselves. So that Derek and Cheryl didn't have to come up with the money for it. And now, and then they had the girl and they had the boy, and I was like, oh, perfect, because I can just upgrade it upstairs and it'll look perfectly fine and it'll all be okay. And then it ended up being that it's not so okay. And so they're actually going to have to move now because I don't really like playing with more than like a 2-story house, to be honest. So for me, a 2-story house is like my max that I like to do. Otherwise, I would rather just, you know, just move to a bigger house or a bigger lot or whatever. This lot is ultra tiny. I mean, it's the smallest in the game. I think it's the 20 by 15, so it's really tiny. And so they're going to outgrow this house very quickly. And I put a lot of time into this house, and it kind of upsets me. But I mean, it is what it is. So right now, as it stands, they're living here until the baby ages, which should be pretty soon. And so that's pretty much that. And they don't really have anything else going down for them at this point in time. They're just kind of like working on whatever needs to be worked on. And this house needs to be worked on. That's one thing. So they're in the market to buy at this point right now because they need to buy a new house that's going to fit 3 children. And Psycho needs to come pick up his homework off my table because it's getting really annoying. I think I might be able to delete it in... Yeah, I deleted Psycho's homework. I'm deleting it because it's really annoying because no one can use that chair and it's been there for like 3 weeks. Anyways, so Hazel was really excited when Dominic was born. She ran right over and she got like the excited about new sibling moodlet, and it was just the sweetest thing. Darian, not so much. He did get the unwanted sibling moodlet. I don't think he was hoping for another child. Honestly, I think he was kind of hoping that he was going to be the youngest for life. But it ended up being that Mom and Dad had different plans for the family. So, but I'm going to try and keep it just to 3 for them, and that being it, because I don't really think that they need more than that. So, speaking of what they've been up to, Daniel has just been really working hard on his job. He is at a level 7 of the investor career, and working hard at it. He really, really, really is trying to make the money for the family to be able to afford a new house. I mean, they're sitting at almost $30,000, and with selling this house, they should have a pretty penny. I mean, they shouldn't be too broke. Hannah still doesn't have a job because, again, she's a stay-at-home mom. And so she started picking up a little bit of the gardening. She's really enjoyed having some time to herself outside. I mean, she just, she enjoys being able to get out of the house and not always have to be cooped up inside with the children. And so she's taken up gardening and just kind of focusing on that. Now, she has made quite a few friends recently, so that was good as well. And looks like that's all to harvest right now. Okay. And she's just really spent some time trying to better her life and have more outside of the family. So she spent time making friends, getting with her father and hanging out with him. And she made friends with Alessandra Alves, which is, if you guys don't know, it is Nolan's mother. And Nolan is from Derek and Cheryl's. She's hung out with Cheryl a little bit, hung out with Demi a little bit, Allison and Derek. She has hated on a lot of people, which is kind of sad, but it just kind of ends up being that way. So she is an evil sim, so she's not going to like everyone, unfortunately. That's just how it goes. So she's kind of spent time working on, just taking care of the kids, working on that kind of stuff, and doing what she's got to do for everything else as well. The kids are doing really great in school. Hazel is an A student. She is just full of life. She grows each and every day. Honestly, she's like a real human being. It's crazy how realistic she is to me and how much I can feel how smart she's becoming from all the skills that she's learning, and it just literally is blowing my mind. So it really makes me happy to think about it. and to see her grow. And she's almost done with her aspiration. She's on her last part, which is 2 out of 3 for the aspiration, and it's the artistic prodigy. She only needs to play an instrument for 5 hours and reach level 10 of the creativity skill, which she's on level 8 right now, almost 8 and 2/4. So that's really great. And she's pretty much done with class stuff. And she hasn't really, like, fallen for anyone at this point. I mean, she's still quite young for that, but she is really good friends, or she's good friends with her brother. So they hang out a lot and they do homework on, like, in the same place. It's just the sweetest thing. And I do have a photo, and I'll put it in the video of the first day that they came home and they both had homework, and she ran upstairs to sit on the bed to do her homework with him. It was the sweetest thing. Like, literally, I couldn't even believe how sweet she is. She is probably the sweetest kid I've ever seen. So it, like, blew my mind away that she did it, and I just thought it was so cute, and I had to snap a photo, so I did. I'll post it, like I said, at the end of the video. It'll be thrown in there among all the other videos or photos that I have. And then we have Darian. He's the brains of the family at this point. I mean, I do want her to work on the other skills as well, because she has plenty of time. I think she's still got, 38 days. So he's the brains of the family. And he's been working on the mental. And you saw he just got it up to level 6, so that was good. And he literally just spends a lot of his time up here. Even if I don't tell him to do it, he comes up here and he just, does whatever he wants to do, and just, experiments with this. He plays with his doll and stuff, so that's good. So he's doing pretty good, but he is getting low in social, so we need to get him some help. And then Dominic, he just lays in there because he doesn't really have anything better to do. So, and then we've got... Anyone else? Alright, you need to repair your daughter's toilet. And then I need you to eat something because you're pretty hungry. So go ahead and eat some of the... It's not really breakfast time anymore, so when you're done mopping, why don't you serve dinner? Make up some... What do we want to make, eh? Maybe make some garlic noodles. It's already 6:52? Man. Alright, so on Sunday at midnight, we switched to Cheryl and Derek, and then I'll tell you everything about them. But really, these guys are just trying to continue to stay happy with one another and just live life to the fullest kind of thing, and just be who they want to be in life. And I think that, honestly, they're very happy together. They love the company of each other. They always spend their every waking moment together if they can. I mean... they're just so sweet. Like, you'll see Derek just go over to her and kiss her sometimes, and it's just like the sweetest thing. And you know that that's true love. Like, when they're going over and kissing each other and you don't have to tell them to, like, that is just pure, and it's like utterly pure love for one another, and it's just the sweetest thing. And the kids get a lot of love from the parents as well, so it's not like, they put them aside. If you look at the relationship with their parents, it's great. Their relationship with their parents is amazing. So you can tell they spend a lot of time together as a family, and I just think it's the sweetest thing in the entire universe that this family is so close-knitted that it's unreal. They don't really know their grandparents. I've been trying to force it a little bit more. They know them, they just don't, they're not really friends with them. There has been a little scuffle between Daniel and Hannah's dad, and that was because he came over, he came over and he literally started, like, yelling at Hannah, and Daniel, being the protective husband, stepped in and was like, it's not okay for you to scream at my wife, and if that's how you're going to be, then you can just leave. And it didn't turn into a fight, but it did turn into a bit of yelling at each other, which is fine because, it proves that, he doesn't let anyone just push her around. She's not like, someone's little plush toy that they can just throw around. Like, Daniel's there to have her back, and I think that the next time her father came over, I don't think he actually yelled at her, which was kind of cool, but it makes her really sad when he yells at her too, and I think it's got something to do with that, it's her father, And I don't honestly, I just think that he doesn't believe in her ways of life. And, she does what she wants to do. It's her life. She does what she wants. And if her and Daniel are happy and the babies are taken care of, then you know what? It shouldn't matter. And she doesn't come from a wealthy family. Her family is actually very much poor. Um, which is, that's fine and all, but I mean, don't put Daniel down because he comes from a richer family. It's not like you can choose what family you're born into, you know what I mean? So it just kind of upset me that he was like yelling at her and thinking about money at the same time. And I don't know, I just feel like it was kind of like an argument that she was married into a richer family than them, and so she feels like she's more inclined to be with the richer folk than with like the poorer folk, and so he feels probably like she doesn't give him as much attention. But that's not why she doesn't give him much attention anymore. It's more so along the lines of she has 3 children that she's trying to raise, and she's a very, social lady. She's trying to hold up a social image and have her own friends. And so there was a bit of a scuffle there with the family, but I don't think that in the future anything bad will come out of it. I do think that Hannah does have that evil side to her, so when he kind of yells at her, she gets kind of snippy back. And I think that she gets that from her father, to be honest. I think she gets the evil trait from her father. So I just think that's kind of like something that they have to work on as a family. There's always something that a family has to work on. So I think that's it. Look at Daniel. He's such a good dad. But Daniel was excited when they were having the 3rd child, and I was excited for them because it obviously was something that they really, really wanted. Well, especially Daniel. I was just scared that they were going to have like quads or something, which would have been, it would have literally thrown me over the edge. But I'm glad they only had one. And like I said, I'm pretty sure they're pretty far done with the whole having children thing, but you never know. Another surprise might happen, and so be it. So recently I also added in the master, like what would be considered for Sims 3, the master controller mod or story progression. And it's like where it brings the town alive. So a lot of stuff has went down in the world, and we will get to that stuff because I do want to put that in here as well. I don't want this video to be extremely long, but it seems like it's going to be pretty long, which kind of sinks, but so be it. Oh, geez, sorry. Alright, so Dominic's sleeping and Daniel's taking care of him. The reason I'm making Daniel take care of him is because he doesn't get to take care of him as much during the weeks because it's Hannah's job to take care of the baby during the week. Especially when Daniel's at work, and so over the weekend is his time to bond with his son. And I just want him to be happy and to feel like he actually put in that effort with his child. So I'm having him spend a little bit of extra time with him and take care of all of the baby's needs at this point in time, while he's home for the weekend. But like I said, we are about to switch to the next family, so I am going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit so we can move to the next one. She can go ahead and sell that to the collector. Alright, and then you should probably come in here and do a swab kiss with him just to end off. Aww. They are very into each other, like I said. Like, they love each other to death. And they're a very sweet couple. And I definitely think that he's much happier. Passionate kiss him. That's all I meant. Oh, well, she's going to anyways. Oh gosh, his head went through the stove. Okay, so she does want a woohoo, so that's weird. But we're going to be switching families, so let me go ahead and save real quick, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so we are back, and I have switched families, and here is the Millmans. I'm so excited to be back with these guys, because I haven't played them in so long. Alright, so what's been going on with the Millmans? Oh, lots has been going on. First of all, you're going to realize that there's some Halloweeny decorations. So the Halloween, the spooky stuff pack came out, and I got it, and I showcased it on my Twitch if you were there. But this is some of the Halloween stuff, and there's some of their carved pumpkins. I want one of each, everyone to carve a pumpkin and put it out here. Um, so that would be that, and let's go ahead and go inside. All right, so we did add in the carving table and the lantern and the bucket, and there's like the decoration here, and then we've got the spiders on the window, and I can't remember everything, but I know those are at least it. So it's spooky and it's cute and it's amazeballs and I love it and I just can't get enough of it. Okay, moving on. So Derek and Cheryl, let's start with them because they seem to be the catch of the story here.
Lovely.
So Derek and Cheryl were excited to be able to introduce you guys to their baby last time, which was Dustin. He was the baby of the family and he was um, literally a baby. So he's actually celebrated his birthday and he's aged up and he's a big boy now and I'm sure he probably feels good about it. And he ended up liking the color orange and he also got Daddy Doodle's hair color, so that was cute. Oh, he's so cute. He's a good person. So as you noticed now, he rolled the good trait, which I thought was great, and he also got the social butterfly one, which is fine. It's not my favorite trait, but he has a very different look about him as a child. I don't know what it is, but he's got a very slender face. I think he's got Cheryl's face, to be honest, and a lot of the other kids, like a lot of the other boys, don't have Cheryl's face. They have Derek's face. So I thought that was kind of cute. I was really upset it wasn't a girl when he was born, and I was also really upset that um like it wasn't going to be the same, like it wasn't going not it, I was really just hoping for a girl for the fact that they've only got one, and I really just wanted them to be able to experience oh, I did not mean to do that. The thrills of having a second child that was a girl, but it didn't end up being that. And so we're proud of who we've got. Like, I'm never going to not love one of the children. So he's aged up really well. He's done pretty well. I haven't played much of him as a child, so he's still a C student. Because right before he aged up, we actually had to switch households, so that's just kind of how it goes. So he aged up and he's been a child for a while, but he hasn't actually per se aged because it only ages them when I'm playing the household, which is how I want it. And so he got Daniel's old room, and I took the photos down and all that good stuff, and I switched up the color of the room to orange so it matches his favorite color, which definitely gives it a different feel because it used to be blue. He's got a double bed, which I thought was kind of funny because none of the other kids have double beds. They all have single beds. But I didn't really want to sell this bed and buy new, so I just left it. I figured it wouldn't matter. And, whatever. It gives him that option. Now, Dre does still live at home. Talking about him because we've kind of moved on from Cheryl and Derek anyways. Dre does still live at home, and so when I talked to you guys last time, the relationship between him and Nolan was starting to be rekindled, but I didn't know if the love could spark back like they had always had from the very beginning, and it seems that the love has sparked back. It just happened that someone else in the household, I can't remember who it was, I think it was Dean, got a call from Nolan asking if he could come over. I accepted because I thought maybe it's something he was really doing to see Dre. And so when Dre was here, Nolan, I was taking care of some of the other children because they had some friends over and I wanted them to make friends with them. And so when I came back, Nolan was kissing him, and I figured, that's it. It's true. It's like true love, even knowing, they went through hard times. They almost lost each other. They almost like separated. The connection between them, it are like automatically sparked. Once they saw each other, it just sparked again, and they were back to being lovebirds. And so I definitely think Dre is ready to move out. I think he's ready to be on his own. Mom and dad need to buy him a house and let him move out on his own. I blew through all the money that they were saving for his house on the Halloween decorations, but I mean, come on, who couldn't, right? They'll get more. It won't take too long. So I've already picked out where he's going to live, what lot he's going to live on, and, I've got an idea for his house. Now, his house is going to be very pink because he likes the color, I think it's like violet or lilac, or it's not lilac, I think it's like violet or maroon or something weird like that. I don't even know. Spiceberry is what I think it is, actually. So he is just, he's definitely going to have a different house than most of my other children. But I think it'll work. And I don't think that he wants to move in with Nolan right away. I think that since the relationship between them is so freshly rekindled, it's still very hard to it's still very like fresh with him. It's kind of like a new relationship, to be honest. They're both older, they're more mature, they've done different things now. They've graduated high school. And so now it's more about balancing the job and a relationship at the same time and being able to balance it properly, because school is different than a job. So, a job's more important, and he loves his job, so he doesn't want to lose it. So I think right now he just wants to take some time for himself, live on his own, but have Nolan come over, stay the night once in a while. He still wants to be with Nolan. He definitely wants to be with Nolan. But I'm just not sure he's ready to jump into a long-term, like, let's live together kind of. So I think right now he's just going to kind of move out on his own, live by himself for a little while. And he's definitely ready for it. I can see it in him. He's ready. He's kind of, always wanting to go out or something. So he kind of needs to get out from underneath mom and dad's watchful eyes, because Cheryl, being the loving mother that she is a very big, like, I guess, bear. Like, she doesn't want to let her cubs go. And it's the sweetest thing, but she really needs to start letting go sometimes. Talking about Cheryl as well, she actually got a little bit of a yelling at from Daniel about trying a little bit harder to see Hannah for the person that she really is, and not seeing her for the poor girl who probably got with a guy who had more money because he had more money. And Cheryl's always been scared that her children are going to be taken care of, like, are going to be taken advantage of because they come from a wealthy family. So she's always wanted them to find someone of like a higher wealth family, or somebody of their same like wealth class. And so it did take her a while, but she has come around, and she's decided that, okay, so you're right, Daniel. Hannah isn't out for your money. She really does love you. Like, they all sat down, had a conversation, ended up with them, making friends, which I thought was great, because they definitely needed to be friends and to just, rekindle that friendship that they should have had from the very beginning, because Daniel is in the middle of it, and he doesn't need to be torn between either his mother or his wife. Because honestly, I can say that Daniel loves his mom, but she's very much so stepping over her bounds, and so she's retracted the claws a little bit, and she's let Hannah into life, and they're actually getting along pretty great. It's really amazing how well they're getting along, and it actually makes me very happy to know that she's getting along with her, because I love Hannah, and I think she's a great woman for Daniel to be with. So that's very, very great. Oh, sorry. So I definitely love that they've rekindled it, they're friends, and they can move past that whole dilemma. Honestly, I think it has a lot to do with the whole Annabelle thing. Annabelle didn't treat Daniel very nicely, and so she was very unsure, I would say, about anyone treating her children sweetly or the way that they should be. And so she became a very protective mother, which I can understand. So, you know, she's gotten over it. Hopefully she'll be better with the rest of the children and she won't be too overbearing on them because, let's be honest, I'm sure they don't want it. But moving down the line, then we have Casey. Casey is still madly in love with her little boyfriend, James. They recently went out and got into a very odd situation to be in. So Casey was being flirted on by a guy in the park. I don't know who the guy was, but she wasn't going for it. And James oversaw, and a fight broke out, and he got quite angry, very angry per se. And I think Casey at that moment realized that, you know, she doesn't have to be Miss Perfect for James to like her because he actually likes her. He doesn't like her because of her looks or because of her body. He likes her because of who she is. And so she's kind of let herself be who she is. She doesn't really play up the bad girl anymore. She's just herself. And I think honestly she's happier. She's definitely let herself be herself. And I think the fight breaking out in the park was a great thing for her because it opened her eyes to show, you know, this guy is really into you. He really wants to be with you. It's not just he's into your body or he's into your looks. Like, he literally is really into you. And I think it has helped her actually come out of her shell and start wearing her old clothes again. Look at her go. So she started wearing those more than the other ones, and she just started dressing very pretty again and not so like dark and, I don't want to say emo because I don't want someone to take it the wrong way, but that's kind of how she was dressing, like very dark emo, you know, reds, dark reds and blacks, and just kind of being like that bad girl, I guess you could say. So she's definitely come out of that, and she's putting on the different face again, and I just think it's great. I love it. I just think it's the best. So she's definitely come out of her shell, and she's definitely moving forward with being with James. And I can tell you that her birthday with her brother Dean is coming very shortly. It actually is going to happen this week while I'm playing them. So they'll be becoming young adults. It's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play into the family, seeing how they're all going to get along, and just all that good stuff. So we'll see how that works out. If it works out, well, I don't know. That just means another house that needs to be bought for the children, which is, or more like 2 houses, because these 2 need their own houses. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think they're going to move out right away. I'm not sure they're ready for that, but it will have to be sometime soon after that. So that'll be very interesting to see what's going to happen there. Alright, talking about Dean, a lot has gone down with Dean recently. So he has decided, well, let's start here. He invited over both Kelly and Callum to see if they were going to, you know, who he was going to fall for, and to see if one would get jealous of the other. So Callum and him were flirting. Kelly didn't really have an eye for it. She didn't really seem to honestly care. She was more interested in talking with everyone else in the family, and so Dean decided that he feels Kelly's not really that into him in that way. I mean, they're friends, they can say friends, but he doesn't think that she loves him, which honestly, I don't feel that way either. I never did. I never thought that Kelly actually was into him that way. I just think it was more of friendship. So he had a deep conversation with her about, you know, hey, I just want to, you know, let you know that I'm really into Callum, and I think that I'm going to be with him. And she kind of just was like, okay, like she didn't really have like a feeling about it. And I think for him it was like an eye-opener, like, so this is the route that I should be going down. I shouldn't be trying to be with somebody who doesn't really want to be with me. And so right after that, he walked over and he instantly kissed Callum on the lips, and they were like all cuddling on the couch, and it was just the sweetest thing. And excuse me. And so they've actually become very romantic with well, pretty romantic with one another. They haven't really had an official date yet, but they have went ahead and they have kissed a couple times. They've just, done all the good stuff as what a couple would do. And so he's just been literally spending time with just doing what he needs to do to be happy in life. Whether that be with somebody who he didn't really think he was ever going to end up with, or, you know, he didn't. Not that he didn't think he would ever end up with him, because I think I'm saying this in the wrong way. He just didn't think that, taking on that harder relationship per se was something that he really wanted to do. So he just wanted to take like the easy route out, because he's seen how hard it is for Dre to be with Nolan, and the judgment that he can get, or all that kind of stuff. And so he kind of just wanted to be what people would say, quote unquote, is a normal relationship with a girl and a guy. And it didn't work out. He doesn't really have the feelings. He realizes now that he doesn't really have the feelings that he has for Callum with Kelly. And he realizes that now, but at the time he was having that internal struggle of, who should I be with? What is the right thing? What is the wrong thing? And so he's actually decided that that it's the right thing for him to be with Callum, and so he is going forth with that. And they actually seem pretty happy together. I do want to get them out on a date, get them to have a proper date, and to do all that kind of stuff. But he does want to, just be able to, have like that normal life and the normal relationship, which I think that they can if he forgets about what other people think about him, and that's going to be his struggle. And we'll see if they can, being that person who, gets a lot of attention because of the relationships that he's in. I just kind of want to see if that's something that he can live with, or if it's going to literally push him over the edge. He's a very self-conscious person, and I feel like for him it's very hard for him to do anything that somebody would think of him in a negative way or something like that. So I just think it's very hard for him to take on something like that. And so I think it's gonna definitely be a struggle, but I think that he can definitely do it if he puts his mind to it. Now we've got my little Dawson. Oh, what a sweetheart you is. Okay, so Dawson is that little shy boy that, remember, didn't have any friends. Yeah, come to find out, he invites someone to Dustin's birthday party. She calls him up on the phone, asks to come over. He invites her over, and they kind of hit it off. I'm not gonna lie. So Tiffany is the girl, and he actually made friends with her. They sat there, they talked, they had a great time, and you know what? Let's chat with her. And so he's made a friend. I'm so proud of him. Like, my little baby just aged up and made his first friend. I'm so excited. Like, he came out of the shell. And I had said in the last one that I felt like something was going to be brewing with him, and so be it. It did. And I think she's a beautiful lady. I think that, they could be together if that was something that he wanted. He hasn't really got those kinds of thoughts about her yet, but he does seem to want to be friends with her. So I think it's great that he's made a friend. I just think it's probably one of the best things that he's done in his life so far. And he does want to schedule a date. Whoa, okay, well, maybe he does. And so I'm so proud of him. Like, literally, my heart flutters for him, because he is just the sweetest child, and he deserves to be happy. And so I really appreciate that he's made a friend, and he's going somewhere. He's doing something with his social life. He's not just sitting at home or whatever and keeping to himself. He's actually getting out there now. And I think his brothers and sisters being so friendly and so open and have so many friends in and out of the house all the time, I think it kind of opened his eyes, man, I kind of want that too. And so I think maybe it forced him a little bit to get out there and meet some people at school and to make some friends, and that's great. And I don't know if it's ever going to become romantic, but at this point, I'm just proud that it's a friendship. So he has moved on, guys. Give him a round of applause. And then we have Dale. Oh, Dale. So while Kelly was over here, Dale kind of, like I said, I thought he had something going with her and he was going to try for it. And he did. He was all up on her like flying rice. No, just kidding. Um, he was very talkative with her. Every single time I turned around, he was talking to her. It was literally the sweetest thing, even knowing, his brother was trying to figure out his internal issues. I definitely think that Dale um, definitely wanted to have that connection with her. And I don't know if they really ever got to the connection, but he did flirt with her a bit and she didn't deny him. So, I mean, it doesn't show up here because he didn't do it that much, but um, they definitely became friends very quickly, and I think that they kind of hit it off. And I don't know if Kelly feels the same for him or if it's just like, whatever. But whoa, what? No. So I do know that it's just kind of how it is, and I don't know. Um, we'll have to wait and see where it goes. I know he likes her, and I hate that he has this romantic relationship with Stephanie. I don't know where that came from, but that does not make me feel good. Um, So I definitely think that it's kind of nice that he's, you know, putting his foot out there. He's testing the waters with her to see if it's something that he could actually do. If it's not, so be it. He'll move on. But if it is, maybe there's something there that I don't see yet, then so be it. But at this point, he is trying to be with her. Um, I don't know how it would work or what's going down with her life, but right now, that's fine. So that's pretty much all that's happened with Dale. He hasn't really done much other than try and get with Kelly. And then Dustin aged up and he's been spending time just building skills, making friends. He has made a friend of Morgan and, he knows like the family and that's pretty much it. So his only friend is really just Morgan and I'm sure that's fine. It's the Caliente little kid. As long as it's not Nina's kid, I'm okay with it. No, I'm just kidding. Um, um, So he's got a friend. He's just kind of kept up in his room. Just I'm working on skills with him like I was the other kids, and we're just going to try and get him a little bit farther in his skills and his aspiration this week up until Sunday when we're done playing them. But that's pretty much that. And this is becoming a very long video, and I do apologize. So let me go up and into Manage Worlds real quick, and I just want to kind of go over the town and briefly show you what's been going on in town. I'm not going to jump into each and every household, or probably any at all, but I'm just going to kind of explain. So I did say that I've gotten the story progression mod, quote unquote story progression mod in here. It comes from Mod The Sims. If you guys are looking for it, ask me, and I can put a link in the description below. So it moves people in, and this is Tiffany, his friend, his newfound friend. They moved into the dual level dipper house that I created a really long time ago, and so they've moved in. Um, her daughter aged up. The redhead's daughter aged up, so it's her adopted daughter, so she aged up. Here is the Eastmans. I don't think anything's really happened with them at this point. Anne's still kicking. I mean, she's got nothing. These guys are elders now. Summer, Liberty, and Travis are elders. They've aged up now and they're elders. And then their kids are aging up to teens. And I need to get rid of that hairstyle because it's really annoying that he's got that, but I will get rid of it. And then Liberty and Travis's kids are still children, but at least there's teens in the family. It makes me feel a little bit better. But they've aged up. None of them are really like romantic with anyone because they're old. They're getting older, so nobody here right now is romantic with anyone. They're just kind of aging, and that's fine. Nobody lives here. So this is Hannah's mom, dad, and little brother. Her little brother actually did age up, and we went to the birthday party for him, and it was really sweet. And he aged up at the party, and we got to see, be interactive with the family, and the whole family went over for the party, and it was nice. This is the another party that they've been to recently. So he's aged up. He's a teenager now, and his parents are still, her parents are still, I believe, adults. I don't think they're elders quite yet. The pancakes, unfortunately, Bob and Eliza are elders now, and their children have aged up to teenagers, which is good because, you know, they need to be able to take care of themselves, which is great. So that's what their kids look like now. This is where we went to the party and they got pregnant. Hannah and Daniel did. Jay Huntington III is an elder now, and she is still an adult. The weirdest thing is that those two boys, their children, are actually supposed to be twins, but for some odd reason, only one of them aged up at the party. It was the weirdest thing. So only one of them is a teen and one of them is a child. I don't know what happened there with their ages, but whatever. The game will fix it if it needs to be. So he's still a child. And then over here where Psycho and Casey's boyfriend live, their adoptive mother had a baby. I can't remember who the baby's with. I guess we could go in and try and show you guys. I might have to split this up into two parts. So if I do, you know, so be it. If I don't, it might be just a really long episode and you can just split it up yourselves. But I do want to kind of show you guys what's been going on in the town because there's been a lot going down. Some people have just gotten married. Some people have had children. Some people are like being really scandalous and sleeping with other man, woman, and it out there. So this is Barrett Triplet. Oh my gosh, yes, I remember now. And she had the baby with Jason Stack. So Jason Stack and Kim Triplet had Barrett Triplet. And when he becomes a child, I'm going to change his last name to Stack because it's his father's name. He's actually the librarian at the library in Willow Creek. So that's where he's from. And so they've all got that. And then after she had the baby, she became an elder. So it's going to come down to either Callum and Dean if they stick together, or Casey and James if they stick together to raise this child. So that'll be interesting who has to raise the baby, who doesn't. It'll be interesting to see kind of how that goes, because one of them is going to have to raise that child because they're going to get stuck with it, which is unfortunate, but it's just kind of how it goes. You know what I mean? So that's who she had her baby with. And yeah, I probably should have done two, like a town update and then like the Millman update, which I probably could do, but I'm already started now, so I might as well just continue, right? All right, so the Goths have a very interesting story going down. Yeah, I think I actually am going to do that. I'm going to stop the video here, and then there will be an update video for the town after this. We'll go through all the houses, and I'll show you all the things. I'm sorry that I didn't start this, or I didn't split it properly. I'll do that next time because I know that there's a lot that's going to be happening. But if you guys liked it, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. In the next one, we'll definitely get to see those relationships. We'll see if they're holding out or if they're crashing and burning, but definitely stick around to see what's going on there, and I will talk to you guys in my next update. And don't forget to check out the update of the town, which will be going out for this. And like I said, the other family that I just showed won't be there, but you'll understand when we get there. Sorry about that. They'll just remember that, you know, the town is not split properly. I do apologize. So guys, thank you guys again so much, and I will talk to you guys in my next update.